weekly stock commentaries where I share my personal opinion and insight of what's happening in the Philippine stock market. This one is for the stock stories, March 25 to April 2. If you want the exclusive investing related contents in the Philippine stock market, check the pinned comment. For daily Facebook insight, you can follow my Facebook page. So quick check muna tayo sa stock market. So nagre-recover yung US and mukhang possible abutan nila PSEI. So nagiging laggard na naman ng PSEI. Emerging market, recovering. VX-US negative na to eh. I think nung Monday, Tuesday yata. So, they're in the green. Southeast Asia, malakas pa rin. Total world negative. And my personal dividend retirement portfolio still on the green. For the first story, JG Summit became a major talking point after significant losses. Nag-report na ba, no? So, para sa akin, I think, hindi mo dapat muna tinitingnan ng JGS, no? Una-una yung kanilang petrochemical na sinara, nautangan na nila yun, okay? Doesn't matter kung masara mo yun, all of those debt, di na yun magmamaterialize, okay? Those are additional leverage na bubuhatin ng iba mong, or ng iba niyang segment. And then, here comes Cebu Pacific, mayayari, mayayari siya on these kinds of environment na mataas yung oil, crude oil. And ang daming flight disruption papuntang Middle East. So obviously, yung magiging first and actually this year, I think di siya okay. So 3% year-on-year increase in its recurring net income. Ang tanong, yung kanyang reported net income, magkano? So eto siya, core net income and net income 11%. Fell. Blah blah blah. Transactions, this one of gains. Net wala, Hangit, Reported estimated net loss of 87.9 billion, which reflects the result of its discontinued petrochemical. And JGS, one of those holding companies na may malaki ding utang. While yes, gumawa siya ng rally dito, blah blah blah. Pero by by the next few quarters mag-report siya ng negative ulit, consistent, wala na. Sell down na naman yan, okay? Number 2, RRHI. Magde-delist. Feeling ko kung personal opinion, dapat di pinagde-delist yung yung mga companies na or I should say dapat yung mga magde-delist na companies dapat for the past sabihin nating 3 to 5 years, dapat may growth trajectory sila bago sila makapag-delist para yung kanilang tender offer tumas naman, okay? Ang nangyayari kasi is madaming companies recently tender sila kapag medyo stagnant, flattish yung kanilang growth. Therefore, kapag ginawan mo yun ng valuation, mababa talaga yung lalabas, Just like MPI dati, nag-delist siya nung medyo tawag nito, ang kupad ng growth niya, a little bit flattish. And then after niya mag-delist, kasi press release pa rin yan sa ibang ibang website, ganyan, sa Facebook, makikita mo yung nilang nire-report na nag-grow naman. So yun yung mga delisting risk ng mga long-term investor, especially mga nag-aantay ng recovery. Nyari, nabili mo siya dito sa 80 plus, 50 plus, nag-aantay ka ng recovery, wala na. So I own some RRHI and may gains ako dito kasi last year sa Patreon ko, sinasabi ko, nung sinesell down siya rito, nag-yield siya more than 6% plus. So sinasabi ko nun doon, bumibili ako ng or nagdadagdag ako. So VVT reported a solid, nag-press release na to eh. So VVT is one of those up and coming na potentially a big player in the power sector in the future. So sa akin meron silang lagi consistent na growth. Okay. Ano lang neto is focus sila ngayon on expansion. I mean, bigay sila ng dividend pero not that high compared to other or more matured na power companies, pero eventually baka batasan niya rin yung payout niya. Okay, so far illiquid's doing well, and VVT na di-discuss ko na dati dito, no? So unti-unti siyang gumagapang. Okay, so number 4, Benguet Corp. Wala na mga speculation. Posted stronger 2025 result. Ano kayang result yun? BC. Kaya ano ata to eh? If I'm not mistaken. Ito ba yun yung kay tawag nito, kay Romualdez? Blah blah blah. Ewan ko, no? So, BWC, klaseng mga 555. Trading 2.6 billion. Pwede, no? Yun lang kung assuming magtutuloy-tuloy siya. So, BC nasa mining. Namimigay ng dividend, no? 0.15. Ano tong BC, per share? So, 0.15. Bahala na kayo dyan, no? So, not really a company for me. So, si Reit, tapos to ng dividend recently, pero yung usual na kapiranggot lang na just for the sake na makita na nagtataas siya. Ayan. 0.05 pa, naging 0.056, blah blah blah. So, kailangan nito aggressive na mag-expand yung kanyang parent, no, si CREC. And if that happens, doon din potentially lalaki yung asset niya. So, it's one of those resilient na REIT. So, Shang Properties. Inulit mo na naman to eh. Sabi ko nang wag mong ulitin yung to. So, Maya's remittance boost. While not a direct stock, the rewards Maya is a major story. New financial rebates for OFW sending remittance have boosted Mayas. So, tinatry na itong i-disrupt yung Gcash. Okay. Na syempre under to ng TEL. Parang magkaiba kasi sila ng diskarte. Si Gcash more on lifestyle up yung niya, yung direction niya. Si Maya naman parang nagiging na siya, bangko. Okay. So bakit ganun yung direction ni Maya sa tingin ko? Kasi if you look at the MVP group of companies, wala silang banking arm, no? Unlike other conglomerate families, no? Ayala, may BPI, mga C, may BDO. And we'll see, no? Kung eventually maabutan ng Maya, yung Gcash. Dapat Gcash yun, daming arte nun eh. Dapat abang maaga pa. Na-IPO mo na yun eh. Nakita nyo na yung di ba? Maynilad. Nag-IPO ang Maynilad at a time na medyo hindi naman kakanda yung sentiment, pero pinatos siya eh. Ano pa kayo yung Gcash? Daming arte. Baka mag-IPO sila pag nabutan na sila ng Maya, no? Or baka umaunahan pa sila ng Maya, di ba? Foxmonts Capital, 4B Infusion, backing Philippine startups. Wala yan. Stocks like Lotte, 4B, malit lang yan compared sa valuation na ng Globe tsaka TEL, no? GSIS Loan Moratorium Impact. Announce a 3-month loan moratorium for government workers. Disposal, okay. Believe indirectly benefit consumer stocks like P-Gold. So, kumbaga additional purchasing power. So, nag-report na si P-Gold. I think okay yung okay yung nireport niya. I think resilient ata yung kanyang SNR, no? Feeling ko na ipapasa niya yung or kaya niyang ipasa yung yung additional cost sa kanyang mga members. Kasi yun yung tinitignan. Yun yung worry dito. Sales double digit, gross profit double digit, operating income double digit, net income after tax almost double digit. So, wala siya, no? So, SSSG still positive, 4.1%. Blah, blah, blah. And SRWR's clubs driven by higher traffic. 6.1% SNR. Solid pa din. Of course, nabigyan ng dividend little bit higher than last year. Ang nagsuffer is parang si Keeper, no? Could be a competition issue, it could be strong USD, or it could be weakening consumer spending habit. So si Pigo in terms, okay pa rin yung kanyang fourth quarter, no? So sinell down siya dati dito, fourth quarter last year kasi pumipitik yung USD. So ngayon, na-prove niya na baka mapuntahan niya yung all-time high. We'll have to find that out. Yung isa niyang na-mention, SM. Sinasell down na to eh. But SM? Diba? Ito yung conglomerate niya eh. Ito, SMPH. Ito yung mga SM na So still, wala, no? Pangit. Madami yung nagpapanik kay Ali eh. Ginawa ko ng analysis, this year sabi ko, kapag tinanggal yung premium ng Ali, andito siya nun di ba? 20 plus ata. Pag tinanggal yung premium ni Ali and i-trade siya, similar to the multiples of MEG, RLC, sabi ko nun, pwede pa to mga lahati. Baka doon siya pumunta. 10 pesos. Especially pag pumitik ulit yung inflation, ma-force na mag interest rate hike yun na. Okay. So Lupin's PH subsidiary buyback. Buyback shares in the subsidiary mo. Wala, ano to? Ano magsasabi ni Google AI. So Mapua. Ano to, under to ng IPO. Okay. May deal sila with ASU Global Education, trending after major interview detailing its global regime, education sector modernization. So, kumusta IPO ngayon? Kumusta yung mga educational stock? So, IPO, chill lang kasi mga defensive yan CEU, matagal ko na tong pick sa aking channel. Resilient din. And FEU, ayan, resilient din. And STI, sinasell daw niyang STI beginning ng 2026. Fast forward today, nag-recover na. So, on these kinds of environments sa ngayon, resilient yung educational stock, educational sector. The 6,000 support battle. So, nag-close ba siya kahapon? 6,000. Konti lang no? Wala na. It's over. The technical cliffhanger. The Hormuz Passage negotiation. Sa Philippine-bound vessels. Papayagan kaya kayo? May mga bases yung US sa Pilipinas Diba? Papayagan pero bayad kayo siguro ng mga toll fee. Kumusta na yung ngayon? Crude oil 98. Okay. Brent nagre-retreat yung mga kasi may mga maugong-ugong na pistok daw Pipistok daw si Donald Trump tapos bahala na daw yung pull out niya tapos bahala na daw yung iba. Lupit talaga nun. Okay? So, Trump's 2-week peace signal as US President signaled potential end to Iran conflict within 2 to 3 weeks. Sabi ko sa inyo I-frame niya yan na sila yung panalo, na-destroy nila yung pwede nilang i-destroy na military bases, tinanggalan ng capability yung Iran. blah blah blah, a complete victory for the US. Tapos pull out na lang niya. Ganun yung gagawin yan. Bale wala na yung ginawa niyang global chaos. Blah, blah. Recently tinetreaten niya ano tawag nito? Alis na daw ang US sa NATO alliance nila eh. No? Ang daming pakulo niyan eh. So pag binabasa ko yung yung mga ni Trump recently, yung mga tweets niya, no, yung mga posts niya. Ganun yung direction niya ngayon, no. Parang unti-unti na siyang gumagawa ng narrative na complete victory, complete domination and according to plan yung ginawa nila. And then mag-exit na lang sila. Regardless of the economic repercussions na visit na yun, nagagawa nun. So, mining and oil index surge. Energy plays, mining and oil. So, kanina yung gold, no? Re-retreat na, rally ulit. So, yung coal pala, no? Coal, okay, chill lang. So, hindi siya natuluyang nagrally. Pero, this one is still higher compared to, last year, no? Medyo magbe-benefit na yan yung mga coal miners. And ayun lang for this week's stock commentaries.